welcome back, and if you're new, welcome. Please hit that like, subscribe, notification bell so you stay up to date on all of the videos we release weekly. And I want to start this video by thanking all of my subscribers. You guys are awesome. I get so much great feedback from you guys that I'm able to use it in my videos. It's super cool to have a small community where everybody has the same kind of ideals and principles. We're all basically geared towards the same thing. We're all trying to grow all winter and be as self-sufficient and eat healthy. It is pretty darn simple to want all of those things. You can see all the sweat coming through my shirt. I've been back here digging. We're excavating our pond. I got some cool things to show today. We have some other cool experiments. You can't really see them in frame here, but I will show that as we make our way back. And I really just wanted to thank all my subscribers. Let's get into this video. So let's jump up here. So I've got this little solar heater behind me. Just want to show everybody real quick. We've got some cool parts coming. There's going to be a video on this very soon. Just got to get it up, and we're going to get all of our fish out of here so we don't overheat our fish. We've got ourselves a new solar panel. This solar panel is going to be for this southern end. We're going to put it out front, and it is going to run a fan and the pump for that solar heating system. We've got two systems that are going to be piggybacking off of each other to heat this greenhouse or heat that tank and provide extra thermal mass in here. You can see I've got some sandbags and a sifter, and we are doing some work down here. Let me set this camera up and get into this. So we've ordered ourselves some heavy duty sod or earth bags. So these are basically sandbags. You can put 50 pounds in each of them, and we are going to use them as stability or structure. And excavating over 1,000 pounds of soil out of this greenhouse did not sound like fun. I would rather go through the process of kind of sifting it up and filling it into bags that I can much more easily carry. Holy cow, guys. Hold on 1 second. I just spotted something furry in the greenhouse. Can you guys see that little baby bunny rabbit? You guys, there is a baby bunny in the greenhouse. Oh my gosh. There he goes. Sorry about that little distraction. Literally a little distraction. He just took off. I happened to look over and I saw a little furry tail. So I touched him and I picked him up, and he let me pick him up, and then he started hopping. So I'm just gonna leave him be. I'm not too worried about that baby bunny. Hopefully he doesn't stay in here too long though, because we are going into winter time and he's gonna love all of the winter crops. We have a ton of winter crops that we started planting, and we're going to be planting even more and transplanting some stuff from outside into the greenhouse. So stay tuned for a video on all of our winter growing stuff and what to grow in winter. So sorry about all the distraction. Let's get back into this sandbag video. So where was I? We were super excited to get these sandbags in because we are going to use them for our pond, like I was saying. So we're going to be able to excavate all of this out, and we're sifting it. I'm going to show the whole process here, but I wanted to talk about all this and why we're choosing to use these sandbags. Now, in the essence of working smarter, not harder, I wanted to keep all the soil inside the greenhouse that I possibly could, because we've excavated a lot of soil out of here, wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow or 5-gallon bucket after 5-gallon bucket, and we will throw it in plots and we'll just spread it in and mix it, or we'll throw it in a huge hill and we'll use that soil elsewhere. But it's a lot of work to do all that by hand. So instead of hauling it anywhere, I can just kind of haul it right into a bag and keep it inside the greenhouse, use it for structural support or anything. There's a lot of uses I'm going to find for these bags. Now, the main reason I bought these sandbags was for the pond, and I'm going to be using these as structural support for the top edge of the entire pond and possibly down low once we get dug down and excavated. Now, using these for the pond is a great idea, but it's not the only thing I can use these for. There is a multitude of things I can find to use a full sandbag for. A few things I want to use these for this winter is just storing rock or thermal mass. So we have soil or whatever we put in here, rocks and soil. We try and sift the rocks out so we don't tear the bags faster. They seem to be a good durable material, but we want to put them to the test. So we're gonna see how well they actually hold up this winter. But holding all of that energy as thermal mass in sod bags, or we can use it to build a nice square bed throughout the greenhouse. We can use it for a lot of things. We can line our walkway with them to keep all of the soil inside the beds as opposed to going into our walkway. There is just a multitude of things that I'm going to experiment with this winter. But trying to use these for a thermal mass might be a good idea too. If I build up a small ridge or a wall, we might be able to hold some decent heat in this soil. Not as good as sand or water or rock, but soil will hold the thermal mass like geothermal does. And if you've ever had a bag of soil or a couple bags of soil sitting in the sun that you've bought, that's going to be very hot for quite some time because it holds all of that thermal mass. So as I was saying, these bags hold up to 50 pounds. They are pretty sturdy and rigid. I've filled a few of them and they seem to hold up pretty well. And they are made of polypropylene. And the polypropylene is UV resistant. Even though we have a UV barrier from our greenhouse, these are going to last for a long time because they are not going to break down from the sun or the UV rays that come through. Now, polypropylene is considered to be one of the safer plastics. That's why we chose this method. I mean, most of them are probably made out of polypropylene because most of your foods that come in packaging, all of your plastics that touch and come in contact with your food, or most of the plastics, are made from polypropylene because they do not leach and they are food grade. And you'll find that a lot of items that you use daily probably have polypropylene in them, as they make bags, twine, rope, plastics, all types of stuff. The best of all, it is supposedly non-cancer causing, non-leaching, and UV resistant. So we did not want to poison our soil or ourselves or our plants or the greenhouse with this plastic if it was going to leach. So we chose the polypropylene, and like I said, most of these are probably made out of this for this reason, because we don't want this to leach in the soil like an old tire or something like that, and all of those nasty plastics that leach harmful chemicals into the soil. So I feel like I covered everything I wanted to just as a brush over on all of this and what I plan on doing and why. Well, let's check out the system that I'm running to fill these bags with to give everybody else an idea, because you don't want all of these sharp rocks and stuff like that, like this jagged rock here. This would poke a hole in your bag, possibly. Not real sure how sturdy and durable these are per se, so we're going to fill a bag with some rocks and see how well that works too. So I'm going to test these out. We're going to sift up some soil and we're going to fill a few bags here and show everybody the process of this. So hopefully you guys can still hear me. We're going to just take some soil and we just keep running it over this crate. And all that's happening is all of our fine material is falling through and all of this big chunky stuff is staying on the outside. So let's take a look at all of this fine sand-like material so you can just see basically the line where our sifter was. We've got all of this chunky, really rough, rugged, sharp stuff. Over here we've got all this perfect sand-like soil. So when we're doing this, I am basically just opening the bag up. I don't have any type of jig or anything. So I got this large piece of steel. This is a round piece of steel. It is from our exhaust stove. This was just an extra piece. So it is nice sturdy steel. So I've been taking this through all of the sifted sand-like medium and very easily dropping it right into the sandbags. So very easy to fill. I mean, I'm on my knees working in the dirt and I'm sifting it through and putting it into a bag. There's a lot of work involved, but it's not terrible. I mean, I could sit here and fill a ton of bags without a whole lot of effort. So we got ourselves a 45, 50 pound bag of basically sand-like medium. It is very, very well broken down and there is no sharp things in there. So that is what we want. You want to get a good fine consistency. You want to get all those sharp objects out, and this is going to provide a lot of structural support and possibly provide some good heat this winter, depending on how many of these bags we get bagged up. We ordered 100 of them for around $30. So I will post a link to these bags, so anybody who wants to check them out or possibly buy some for themselves, they definitely can go grab them. So I'm going to go ahead and get off my knees and out of the soil here because I just got off work and then came out here and started working some more. So I'm gonna take a little break here, possibly go eat some apples and some pears and just take a meander around the whole property and see what everything's looking like and possibly get this little baby bunny rabbit out of the greenhouse. So I know this wasn't the most entertaining video, but I really wanted to share all this because we got all these sandbags in. We were pretty excited to get them in and we just started excavating and doing a little bit of work. So we're going to get a lot of work done over this weekend here, and we should have a decent little area for a pond started so we can kind of build upon that and continue working. We are really approaching the winter time here, so we're waiting for wood chips. We've got most of our wood chips cleared out back here. I've still got like maybe a wheelbarrow that is still on the ground and on our tubing here, but for the most part, all of this is spread out and spread through the whole property. All of our wood chips are pretty well leveled out. We are going to be taking down that John Payne system from last year, and we're going to be rebuilding it and seeing if we can't get better results with it even though we had success last year. I want to see if we can do even better. So everybody stay tuned for all the updates coming from the greenhouse. Winter is coming and we've got a ton of stuff we are going to cover here. So please stay tuned, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. It really helps us out a lot, and then you get to see every video as they come out. I'd really like to thank everybody once again just for checking this channel out and seeing what we've got going on. I really appreciate everybody's feedback and all the input we get, and please keep it up.